The 15-Point Plan is part of the Win, Make, Give podcast network.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the 15-Point Plan podcast, where we talk through habits and systems to help you have less stress and more joy in your life. Today, I'm so excited that I'm here with my co-host, of course, Ryan Greigg. Ryan, say hi.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome back.
And we have another special guest. We're on like a roll with a special guest, Ryan. We have today a really dear friend and business partner of mine. She is such a phenomenal human. I'm so excited for you all to get to know her. I'll tell you a little bit about her. So she is a wife, an amazing wife. She is a mom of 3 amazing kids, and she coaches their sports. They're all in different sports. She's always running around, the sports mom, and she volunteers at their school. She's also a phenomenal business partner. She has a fantastic business. And what I love most about her business is how she's able to use her business to fund and fuel an amazing life outside of business. So her business is not eating up her whole life, but rather funding and supporting her life. And on top of that, you thought I was done. She also she trains and runs marathons like a mad woman. She's like a superhuman when it comes to marathon running. So without further ado, Melinda Kaiser, thank you so much for being here. Say hi to everyone.
Hi, everybody.
So we're here with Melinda today, and we really wanted to just unpack like how she fits it all in. And, I know that you probably have like some secrets to your success, because we always want like the secrets, We want to make it easy on our listeners. And so we're just going to have a conversation and see where it goes.
I love it.
Yeah, this is a marathon of marathons, like of podcasts. Like, right? Because our last special guest was somebody that we all love, but Jacqueline especially loves, Phil. That was so cool. We had Phil on here. He had just done his first marathon. And, I'm thinking, okay, cool. We're going to have somebody else on to talk about marathon running. And I'm thinking, Jacqueline said, oh, she's done a couple of marathons. I'm like, okay, she's probably done like 2, 3 marathons. Melinda, how many marathons did you say you've done?
I've done 10.
10 marathons. So here's my question. I'm just going to jump right into it, because when we look at the 15-point plan and we look at all the points on there, that when we do those, we get a little more energy and a little less stress. When we take accountability for our health and for our wellness, our energy goes up, our stress goes down, and we become these high performers. Like we talked about Brendon Burchard's book that we studied a while ago. Two of the points that come to mind on this one, of course, there's like the nutrition that we could talk about, and we can talk about movement, but influence and time are 2 points that are going to really stick out to me, because if you're running a marathon and you're training for a marathon, and not just one marathon, but 10 marathons, that's like a full-time job in its own. But then you run a business, then you have 3 kids. How old are your kids?
I have 12, 10, and one's almost 7. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have a teenager, so your 12-year-old might say the same thing. My son, and what I'm going to say right now is, what the flip? Like, how do you do all this? So time, I think, is one takeaway that our listeners are going to have from this, because you've got 3 kids, you run a business, you train for marathons, you coach these kids. My first question for you is, what do you think of when you think of time, and how do you fit all this stuff in?
Time is very valuable to me. Obviously, I have to fit as much as I can into one day. And I know a lot of people feel like there's not enough time in a day, but if you really structure your schedule, that's what I have to do every single day. I look weeks ahead, weeks in advance, and plan where I'm going to do my run, where am I doing my lead gen, where am I doing my kids' sports. If you looked, I actually use one of those old school calendars, like, the flip ones, paper. I don't use my phone, and you could go there and look at it, and it's just like full of all different colored ink. everybody has their own color, and I know exactly where I'm supposed to be at what time.
So you like the old school paper calendar, the old school planner. You carry that thing with you everywhere.
Everywhere.
And clearly it's working because you're able to manage like a business and your training
Uh-huh.
and not just 3 kids, but you coach each of them?
I coach my daughter's softball team. I do not coach football or volleyball.
Sweet. Okay. So 10 marathons you've run. When did you start running marathons?
Oh gosh. Well, I didn't actually do my first marathon until I was 39 years old. And
Okay. Now,
to put that into perspective. So I wanted to run a marathon before I turned 40. That was like my goal. So I started training. I started running way before that.
Okay,
so you've been
before
running
wait,
Yeah.
Ryan. Before we get into like going back in time, you need to just share with Ryan and our listeners, what was your time just now when you ran the Chicago Marathon?
3 hours and 22 minutes.
Dang.
Okay. Yeah. I just wanted you to know, like, we're not talking about, like, she wasn't like walking or like doing like the marathon shuffle here.
What exactly does that equate? If you know, what's your mile pace on that for our listeners?
It's about a 7:30 pace.
Okay. So now again, what the flip? Because people that don't, they're thinking like 3 hours is that fast. 7, like that is a fast mile, let alone a fast 26 something
Yeah.
miles. But hold on, I'm also saying like what the flip? Because I figured, okay, 10 marathons, you must have been doing this for at least 10 years.
No.
And I was going to ask you your age because I've been told a man should never ask a woman
Yeah,
her age.
that's a good rule for you to keep following. Yes.
But you shared your age, and if I did the math correctly, by the way, I'm also 43. Then you've only been doing this for like 4 years,
Uh-huh.
like marathons. So you've done like 2+ marathons a year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what the flip?
Flip.
Now, and you said it's interesting because Jacqueline, remember when we had Phil, your amazing hubby with amazing hair on the last episode? He was like, I want to do a marathon to turn 50.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like you had a similar reason, Melinda, like you wanted to do a marathon before you turned 40. But when we got into it a little bit deeper with Phil, there was actually another reason why he wanted to do that marathon, why he started to train, why he wanted to go on that health journey a little bit more. Are there any other reasons, or now that you've done 10 marathons, have you discovered a deeper purpose or a deeper reason as to why you do all this running and training?
Oh, yes, that is a deep question. I've actually thought about that a lot recently. I think for me, I started running originally to quit a very unhealthy habit, and that was smoking when I was 26. I wasn't a high school runner. I wasn't a college runner. I did sports, here and there when I was little, but I told myself that when my husband and I first met, he was very against smoking. And I was like, well, I guess I need to figure that out because I really, wanted that to work. So I just started running a mile a day. And that's how I quit smoking. It just like dropped that habit.
It's kind of hard to run and be a smoker.
Yes. Yeah. It was really hard to start running, because my body was shot at that time. But I look back on that now and I feel like I hopefully am setting a good example. Like I'm trying to set a really good example for my kids, not to follow in some of the footsteps I did when I was their age, to start unhealthy habits. I would really like for them to have a positive role model in their life,
again, one of the points on the 15-point plan is influence. And one of my favorite things to hear as a father and when we interview people is like the reasons why people do things and seeing the impact and the ripple effect that it has for their kids. So if I'm doing my math right, you started this process before your kids were born.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes.
So you became an influence before they were even born. Now here we fast forward many years. You've got 3 of them. So they like didn't even know you when you were a smoker.
No.
But now what they know, maybe they're just starting to know because like if you have one that's 12, like I like to think my son thinks that I'm a badass, even though he probably like wouldn't tell you that. But like what they know is their mom's a freaking badass. Like she's a marathon runner, and not only at that, but she's running at these incredible paces. Not only at that, but she's not just doing like the normal marathon. She's doing like the high level New York, Boston, and like the major marathons.
Chicago, yeah.
Yes.
What's your husband's name?
It's Nick.
Nick.
And
Okay.
here's the thing too, that I think Phil shared it on the last one, but Melinda's the one that actually influenced Phil to run the marathon because we were in New York watching her, supporting her run the New York marathon. And
That's
Phil
okay.
got so inspired that you inspired Phil to run the marathon, which then he inspired our other son, Abe, to run the marathon. And now he's trying to inspire me.
Yes.
They're both trying to inspire me to run a marathon. So
We're
TBD.
in.
This isn't about me. This isn't about me. But my point is like the influence that we have. Sometimes we don't realize like who is watching and who we're positively influencing when we're doing these things, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for influencing my hubby. I'm going to cry because he shared, you know, his family has a lot of health issues in their family. And so you inspired him to do something that was good for his health. So thank you.
You're welcome.
And Jacqueline and I are officially required to do a marathon in 2026 now.
Sounds like it.
Hey, I said I would do a half marathon in 2026 and then potentially after that, I would commit to a full marathon in 2027. That's what I said.
I love this idea. Okay.
That was really perfect timing because we had just heard a call from Dr. Brian Hardy on the science of scaling and setting an impossible goal. And if you're going to set a goal, you might as well just set it sooner rather than later, Jacqueline. So I think the full marathon is coming next year in 2026. Why do a half? What? Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's another episode. We can unpack that next time.
We asked Phil this question, Melinda, but I'm curious what your advice would be for somebody that thinks, okay, like Phil has done this, Melinda has done this, like I'm inspired now, I want to go run a marathon, but maybe they're a smoker. Maybe they like don't run at all. If you wanted to go run a marathon, but you have no idea what to do, what would some of words of advice be for you to somebody that wants to just like get out there and start doing something as amazing as you've done?
I would tell them to start surrounding themselves with people who are going to support their decision and who are also trying to do the same thing. It's really hard to do something like that on your own. And you have to find, even if it's just one person who you can tell them about your run or ask them questions or, you know, get advice from, just having like an accountability person or support person, just so that you're not doing it alone. I think that was probably the biggest thing for me when I first started, was just having someone in my life to help me with my plan, and just knowing that not everyone's going to do it the same way. And not everything works for every person's body, but there is a way to do it for your body, and it will work. Eventually, you will figure it out.
Sounds like you made a commitment. Like Phil said the same thing. He's like, I made a commitment. There was no way I would do it. So he had a similar recommendation. Step number 1, create the goal and know that you're going to do it. Step number 2, make a plan.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to have a plan. I feel if you don't have a plan for running a marathon, you might, and you know, it might not work. You might fail the first time, but you can try again the next time.
You know what is really hitting me right now is before Phil's episode, we had Jason Baker on. And Jason Baker had suffered incredible loss, and he used it to fuel his transformation. Whereas a lot of people would have used it as an excuse to, let alone stay the same, maybe even like go backwards in some of the habits, and he used it as fuel. Well, I think there's a lot of parents and people out there that think, having 3 kids, if I want to be involved in my kids' lives, like I can't build a successful business or I can't do a marathon. But what I'm hearing from you is it's actually your why. Like it's because you have kids that you do these things.
Yeah.
Right. Run your business the way you do and do the marathons. It's not a limitation. It's actually your fuel.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about that, because you could use it as an excuse. I can't run a marathon. I'm too busy. I got 3 kids. When am I going to have time to do that?
Oh, I think people use that excuse every day, that they have 3 kids or they have 1 kid and they can't go do something. I think for me, because I didn't have the role models in my life when I was their age that I want them to have, my parents were divorced when I was very young. Our situation wasn't the best growing up. So I think for me that is my fuel, like to show them that it's possible for your parents to succeed while also having having them.
Yeah. It's good.
The quote I think of, like when you talk about the marathon and people saying they don't have time, and like you have to look at that point on the 15-point plan of making the time. And kids are such a great reason, like having that why. I love that quote: when the why is big enough, the how will show up. And I joke, Melinda, and I don't know if you ever think about this, but my joke is my teenage son has grown as he gets bigger and stronger. I have to get bigger and stronger. Like, I'm not letting him beat me at a race. I'm not letting him get stronger than me. I will fight till the end of my life to be able to do more push-ups than this kid.
Yes.
But he sees me training. They see you training. Like, they're not going to catch you in that race or in that mile anytime soon. And as you get bigger and stronger with them, they get inspired by that. And Ed Milet says, we got to be the one.
Yep.
You ever heard that, right? Like you saw your family do things that you don't want to go do with your family. And now you're becoming the one, like Ed Milet says, be the one that changes your family trajectory moving forward. And it sounds like you're doing it not only with like your health, but you're doing it also in business. You're doing it as a parent. You're doing it in so many areas of your life. And I know Jacqueline doesn't like play around with small time people. If you're working with Jacqueline and a business partner, Jacqueline, then you must be doing not one, but like many things right. And look at this really cool ripple effect that you've now created, because you've inspired your family and your kids, and you've shown Nick you'll do whatever it takes. So you guys probably have like this amazing love and relationship. And now like Phil ran a marathon. Well, he grabbed Abe's hand and Abe ran a marathon. Now freaking Jacqueline and I got to go sign up for a 2026 marathon. And I guarantee you someone on this podcast is going to message you, whether it's a week or a year, and they're going to say, hey, I was sitting there smoking a cigarette and really wanted to quit and I couldn't. And then I heard your podcast.
Oh, I hope so.
So thank you.
If someone that is smoking while listening to this decides to do this, like reach out to me, and yes, I will do a marathon in 2026. I always like naming things or like cool like little, I don't know what they're called, but I kind of like the idea of like 26 in 2026.
Ooh,
I mean that's a t-shirt, right?
Dang.
So.
That's so good. That is so good. I'm serious.
But here's the thing, like we could probably do several more episodes with Melinda, because one of the things that I love most is that her why for her business is also her kids, and she goes on these incredible experiences with her kids. Like there's parents that don't build their business because they're so afraid of not being there for their kids. And at the same time, then there's Melinda. Where are you guys going for next spring break?
We're going to Jamaica.
Where'd you guys go last spring break?
Hawaii.
Before that? Didn't you go to like Bermuda
we went to Maui, we went to Hawaii, and then we went to Nick and I went to the Bahamas.
Yeah. And tell everyone like why that's important to you. Because that's like a big deal to you to be able to do those things, right?
Yeah. It's a huge deal to create those experiences. Okay, now I might cry for them, because I didn't get those same experiences as I want them to have. So it's very important to me that they have time with their family, with their parents together, to spend time together.
Okay. Yeah, we could do a whole episode, you guys, on like how amazing of a mom she is. And so if you are listening to this and you feel like you can't build a big business or do things for yourself, like, you know, you don't have to run marathons, but even some people just don't even make time to sit down and read a book, you know, little things for yourself. Like, stop limiting yourself and start realizing like you are deciding what your limits are. And I hope that this episode inspires you to shed some of those limits and do something for yourself, because your kids need to see you do that, you know, and also like you can use your business as a reason, you know, your kids as a reason not to build a business, but they can also be the biggest reason why you build your business, you know? And so it's all perspective. Any last thoughts for our listeners today?
Just get out of your own way and go do it. That's my thought.
I love that.
Get out of your own way and go do it. And my takeaway from today is make the time. Your kids are depending on you. Like your people are depending on you. And if Melinda can go do 10 marathons in 4 years and run a big business and coach her kids and do all these things, we have no excuses. So you got to make the time. So thank you, Melinda. Hey, if somebody wants to reach out to you, if they want to learn about running marathons, where can they find you online?
They can find me on The Place. Is this all for Place?
Nope. This is
everybody. Oh, they can find me on Facebook or Instagram, or they can call me.
Yeah. What's your name on Instagram?
It's MC Kaiser, I think, on Instagram, or Melinda Kaiser on Facebook.
If you can't find her, reach out to Ryan and I, and we'll connect you.
That's right. That's right. You can find Jacqueline at Jacqueline Ray Smith, RAE, and me, Ryan Park Greigg. Don't forget, you can check all of our past episodes at winmakegive.com. Melinda, thank you again for joining us and inspiring Jacqueline and myself, as well as all of our listeners. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. We'll catch you on the next episode.
Bye, everyone.